Hey, welcome back to Trapper Snore, everybody. I hope you're doing great. It's been a great week here in the Hudson Valley on the trap line. Let's go check it out. It's totally beautiful out right now, but we're on the eve of another snowstorm. It looks like maybe 1 to 3 inches for us, not too much, but there's going to be some icy rain up north of us. I guess they're going to be getting a foot of snow. So I have a feeling in a couple days I'm going to be resetting my traps if they're all coated with snow and ice. We're not going to drive up too close to this guy. Looks like he's caught pretty good though. Pretty cool. This is a new spot. I was waiting. This was a runway set in the corn rows, and we had some digging at it. Looked like fox, but finally the coyotes came through. And there's a ridge up here behind me in the woods where I know the coyotes were running too. So I was just waiting for them to come out in the field here, and I was just about to put a hay set in, but this fired off. I just want to show you, he stepped right where we wanted him to. I mean, that's pretty committed. And actually could have been released, you know, no damage. But this is a prime time to get the coyotes before they have rub, so. Well, I'm glad this spot worked out. Sometimes you check every day and when there's nothing over and over again, you lose confidence, you're like. But still, it's usually a waiting game. It's a nice adult male. Oh, he's pretty heavy. Happy with that. I'm in for some tough skinning today. I'm so used to skinning the foxes and the bobcats now. I'm a little spoiled. We're gonna just shovel this blood out of here. Whew, boy, this one is no longer a runway. It's a mess. I think we're gonna see what we can do in this frozen ground. The wax dirt worked, guys, because it has been in the single digits, and that's pretty cool. And we had wet snow over this too. I just took the crust off the top of it when I come out and do, like, you know, trap bed maintenance, and I got plenty of wax dirt in this hole still. Amazing. You're not going to believe this, but I got back to the fur shed after checking yesterday, and my hammer was gone. So somewhere out here on the trap line, my hammer blew out of the back of the UTV. I know where the bumps are, so that's where I'm going to look first, but I have a backup hammer here. I just keep in the fur shed in case. Anybody who has watched me before knows that I don't use a power drill. I just don't want the weight of it, and I don't want one more thing to worry about, like running out of power. So I use a geologist spike to make my hole, and then my other hammer has the scooper on the end, which I can twist that hole out, which I hope we find. It's not nice and bright like this, so it's going to be a little hard to find. It's green. This is one of those trap circle cases where I probably should get another trap in on the edge, but I got to get to some new properties today. Before I even set this trap, I'm going to put a new bait hole in because it's definitely completely buried. We're going to stuff all around the jaws on this one. Get our screen in. I'm going to move some of this wax dirt right down, back down in. Some new wax dirt on top. Probably still keep that runway type look to it. Clump of snow right here because I want to do a little bit of a step over. We're going to do a little bit of Sarah's Revenge winter predator bait. We got to go check some other lines, but we're going to get this guy hung up. Ready for later. Tell you what, this guy has some nice fur. Really nice. I mean, this is thick. Hopefully I'll be able to tan this one and use it for some garments for gifts for my family. That's what I'm looking for, like a bomber hat, a coyote bomber hat. That'd be totally cool. Well, I'm going to do some snooping right now. This is a spot here. I have a new set down there. which has not fired off. I had a fox dig in it once, but didn't get trapped. But what I want to do is I want to look at the top of this ridge in here, now that we've had snow on the ground for a week or more. Just see what's moving up here. What kind of tracks do we have? Typically, I'm just trapping in the open spaces, but I'll move some sets into the woods here if I see that bobcats are working this ridge, because it kind of looks like a perfect spot to me. Well, not as many tracks as I thought I'd see, so mostly just deer. These are deer tracks. You can see this trail on top of the ridge though. Let me just check off this way. The coons really went to sleep for a while. Boy, they shut off completely. Looks like a fox here. Lots of deer. No fresh predator tracks that I can tell, but a real heavily used deer trail. I mean, if I saw predator traps, this would be a nice spot for a bobcat walkthrough. Right between this tree here, and I could build that up on that side. I may come back and do that. I think I'm gonna watch this next snowfall and see if I see anything fresh, because I'm not seeing a lot of fresh stuff. Here's some pea, probably a deer. Yeah, most likely a deer. All right, well, I saw what I wanted to see. Plenty of spots for some walkthroughs, but I'm not seeing that the bobcats are working this ridge. Sometimes you just have to do some scouting, try to figure out if anything's changed or if you missed something. It's about time that I can get onto some new properties now that regular deer season is officially over. So we're going to be doing that early next week. Then we have a chance at some fresh fur, uneducated, totally new places, no one else trapping there. Yeah, I love that. All right, we're on our second check in the beaver swamp here. Find my way through. Years ago, right where I'm walking here was like 4 feet of water. So the water has definitely shifted. But it's kind of nice to be able to get in here without having to use the chest waders. All right. Let's see if we got any action. We got one set over here. Got frozen in yesterday. Looks like it's frozen in again. Yep. Oops. We definitely got some action over here, and we are going to have to go get the dispatch rifle. Actually, I don't see him right now. I see my drowning rod. See the caster mound. Wonder if he was caught not that long ago. And he's just gone down. I actually see him. He's laying on the bottom right there. I just don't know if he just got caught. We'll have to wait for him to come up. I don't know if you can see him, but he's right there. There's his body. There's his tail. There's the trap. And he was just swimming. So we're gonna wait a minute here. We might have to jiggle him a little bit and see what's going on here. Oh yeah, he's moving. All I had to do is get a little closer, so we're just gonna wait for him to put his head up. We got some bubbles coming up. All right, that was a good set. You see I had this branch, this log kind of block him into this one corner, put the caster mound right down in here. Probably could have snuck up on this one a little better, but no matter. Would have saw me either way. I'm guessing he's caught by the back foot, and that's why he didn't get drowned. It's pretty deep here, but maybe just not deep enough. I might actually try to dispatch him underwater. Bigger one than I thought. We'll have to see when we get him out of the water. Hard telling, not knowing. Give him a little time. Like a bomb went off in there as far as the mud and the cloudiness. We got him by the back foot like I thought. Oh, that's a nice one. Doesn't look like he's been in any fights either. Perfect tail. Very nice. Let's see if I can get this with my hands. There we go. Awesome. Pretty good. Even though it doesn't seem deep enough, but if we got him by the front foot, we would have drowned. We would have submerged him. Whew. That is cold. Red hands. Almost match my gloves. At least I'm not sloshing through the water, but still always hard to get a beaver out. Just putting them up to dry. Good morning. Wow, this has never happened to me before, but this is fox number 6 on the same set. Yep, it's a micro location. It's working out so good, I just keep resetting it. The day before yesterday, we had one here, and we're back. Well, I just dispatched this guy with the death ray. Puts him out pretty quick. Really, he was very well caught. He wasn't getting away. Left, right. There we go. Nice one. All right, get the setting bucket out. These are my driving gloves. Very, very warm, but I can't reset in them. They're too bulky, so got to switch over to the light gloves and get this reset. 6 degrees out this morning. Got another fresh snowfall this morning, and I'm not really expecting to have anything in the traps because I'm expecting that it's going to be everybody was laying low last night. But here's what I'm seeing. Obviously I came walking through here, but I didn't do this. That looks like a kickback right on the edge of the bridge. I've got a camera here, so we're going to see, but I can see tracks right off into there. And I've got a walkthrough right on the edge of this bridge, and something messed with it. I can see, for example, there's a kickback right there. My camera's right here, so we're gonna see what's going on. And then I can see the tracks. They were coming probably late morning while it was still snowing, and it looks like they even stepped in this. So the trap didn't fire. We're gonna check it out. It was the bobcat we've been waiting for, and the bobcat did exactly what we wanted the bobcat to do, but the trap did not fire. So, dang it. Let's check it out. I'm just gonna go in here with my broom, see what's going on. Oh man, it's just that we didn't get him in the right spot. It was still working. I think that I didn't have enough of a target to step on, so like he was stepping over here and over here. So we're just gonna reset this. All right, I do want to show you a couple things I learned on this set. One is that this step over was back here, and he stepped right in here around the lever and not on the pan. So we're tightening it up a little bit. We also got everything covered, but we're gonna give him a target now. That's right on the pan. Still got wax paper there just to hold up some of the light grass. And then I'm gonna get some new smell in here and just get this real stinky again. He's coming back, or she's coming back. She's doing kickbacks, she's marking this. I think I can make it attractive again and get that cat to step in the right spot. I would have let this one go, but unfortunately while it was in the trap, it was killed. There's quite a mess of tracks all around here. Yeah, incidental. Can't always pick what's gonna get into it. And in this case, I came and checked in the legal period. I would have let this cat go, but it perished in the trap. From the scene, looks like it was attacked while in the trap. I did a legal check. I was there the next morning, this morning. I would have let this bobcat go because there was no foot damage and it's a small one. But I harvested it because it had perished in the trap. Beautiful fur. I thought there was a possibility that he was attacked in the trap, and when I skinned him, I found out he was. So his skull was crushed, and unfortunately 2 holes in the belly fur. But I'm back at the scene right now, and there was so much scent here, I thought it was going to work pretty good, and our trap is gone. It's on a drag, so we need to start looking around. Hopefully someone didn't come in and take this one, but I don't see any real evidence of which way it went right at the moment. You can see it's gone. Oh, this is when I wish I had Willie with me. Okay, I see something over here. There's definitely something going on right here, but oh, there's somebody moving right up in there. It was another cat that came back to the scene. Boy, did he get in some thick stuff. Oh, this is definitely a nice one. Oh, wow. Cats attract cats. Most likely it was a cat that attacked the cat in the trap. And I think, honestly, it was happening right as I was coming up onto the scene. Because everything was so fresh. And I know this because it stopped snowing at 7 and I was here just a little bit after 7 and all the prints were fresh. So I think they heard me coming around and they took off and that they were going to eat that little cat. I don't know if you watched my video when I set this one, but I decided to go right along this road here where I know that they're traveling. Boy, the 2 tracks are just hot spots. I'll tell you what, it's going to be some work for me to get this drag out of here, much less the cat. It's all picker bushes. I don't even know which way to go here. So surprised I got this far. All right, this is a commercial for Carhartts because I would be tearing up any other clothes. Holy cow. Look what this cat got through with that drag. There's the cat. Holy cow, am I a grateful trapper. What a spot. Awesome. I'm not going to get too much closer without the dispatch here. Oh, digging my way through here. Well guys, a catch is a catch, but we got just a couple toes in this one. Holy cow. Awesome. Partial foot catch. A little better than I thought. Oh boy. Whew. Beautiful. I'm leaving the trap in there because it's just too much to try to get that out now. I'm already late for work. This is a female, but probably the mom to the one I got earlier, but really nice, really beautiful. I find the females to have the whitest bellies in my area. I changed my mind, guys, because I don't have another drag and I can't get the anchor in for the ground here. It's too frozen, so we're gonna have to, it would be derelict of me to not reset here since there's so much cat smell. So we're gonna dig around in these picker bushes and try to get this dang, oh jeez, trap out. Wrapped around sticks, picker bushes, grapevines, and trees. Hopefully there's nothing else that's wrapped around back there. We got both ends. Well, you can see it's a gigantic blowout here, but we got to take advantage of all this cat smell. They're around now. They might be gone and not come back for another month. So I saw at least 3 sets of tracks. The smell, right? It's like digging in a litter box right now. I mean, it's so catty. I'm just gonna dig a channel here for my chain. Dig out my hole a little better. It is so frozen, guys. We have no choice but to bowl this out with wax dirt, and that's the only way it's gonna be stabilized. We're gonna use the same trap. Everything smells like cat around here, including the trap, but I don't think it's a target because it's just gonna blend in with the rest of the smell. Get some wax dirt in there and then set it back down because I got a nice solid spot, but I want to get a little bit more material under the jaws. Just want a little snow that'll blow out to put on this side here. We're just gonna blend it a little bit. That's it. Hi guys, don't bomb me. Water's a little cloudy because a bunch of geese were just in here and took off like crazy when I came in. But I don't see my trap, but I don't see a beaver either. We got a bunch of sticks. And we got a beaver. Wow. Smaller one, but man, they all count. Cool. That's 2 nights in a row on the same set. We got one more set over there to check, but we're gonna get this one set again. Well, that time definitely got brought down, even though he got caught in the back foot again. Cool. Forgot to bring my gloves again. It's not good for the arthritis, man. Freezing the hands. Push that down. It's frozen. It already night latched itself, so we're gonna just set it right back in there. Block them in with this a little bit. Since my hand's all wet, we'll go ahead and dress up the caster mound a little bit. Give it some eye appeal. I'm carrying the bearded man around in my pocket. I'll put a little bit right there. That's all it takes. See how we do tomorrow. It is beautiful out. Friend trapper Mike Bobber says the coons are going to be waking up soon because we're going to have a little warm up. I totally believe him because they have definitely been asleep for 2.5 weeks, but it's still only December 15th. So they have prime fur. They shouldn't be too much pea stained. And as soon as we get like a 40-degree day and night, they're probably going to come out. So I'm checking on my DPs and getting a little bit more bait, making sure that the bait isn't all eaten up by the mice. Put some outside this. Over here you might be able to see there's a culvert right down there, and I think they're living in there. It just makes it a little easier for me to stop and have my DP right here on their trail when they come out. If this doesn't work, I'll go down right to the culvert. I'm just using some catfish food for those, and it's sprayed off a little bit with some coon collector, make it smell like candy. Now, since those coyote tracks are here, I reset this corner here, a couple clumps with a big flashy dirt hole, which, I don't know, I think the coyotes might come in this. Fox around here too. I got all waxed dirt in there, nice, and we're just gonna make this like a big dig out, big messy dig out. Redid our bait hole down in here, really frozen. It's about that deep, 12 inches deep or so, and we're gonna put our setting stuff away and bait and lure this. Make it dirty. I like this big clump of dirt here. Shows somebody's been digging, hiding stuff. We're gonna go with top dog in this one. Get it way down there. And we're gonna start using some lure now too. I feel like this cold weather, do some coyote gland. I'm gonna do Violator 7 on this one. It's a little touch at the hole. Keep their nose down there. That's the set. Should work on these cold nights. Yeesh, I'm making work for myself in the fur shed now. It's looking good though. Love it. Everybody, it's time to put the hay set out. You know, we have this freezing temperatures, and it's hard to maintain something like a trench set or a step down dirt hole. The snow keeps filling, it keeps wind blowing. But a hay set, we can put our traps in kind of shallow and in the hay, in the loose hay. And it's worked for me before. It's got a lot of eye appeal, mainly putting this in for fox. Anyways, let me show you the spot I picked. I have a pretty big farm here, and I've never even trapped this. Well, actually, I trapped that tree island a couple of years ago, and I picked up a coyote off of there. I think it was a dispersal coyote transitioning through. But anyways, this corner here, I like this because I can see a bunch of tracks right beyond my tripod there where the animals are crossing through this corner. It's got a lot of visual appeal. Our northwest wind is coming from here and going off in this way. So I think it covers a lot of ground. So we're gonna stick it right out here. First, I'm actually just gonna kind of make my spot. Snow's actually pretty deep in this corner compared to other parts of the farm, but we're just gonna take a spot that we kind of flatten out and get some base on. Probably should have brought a shovel or a broom or a rake or something. We don't need the whole bale, so we're just gonna cut it open, take part of it here, and yeah, I'll show you what we're gonna do with this. And the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna set that down there, and then we're gonna take a bunch of hay. I'm sorry, straw. You know, they call this the hay set, but we don't want to use hay because we don't want this to be feed for the deer. It's bad enough the deer are gonna come in here and mess with this anyways. But the predators will come around, and any sort of hay bale, they're going to be checking that out for mice. It's got a lot of eye appeal. If anything, they're just going to want to mark this spot. I see the foxes come through and they'll just pee on it. So we're just trying to make a wide area so they're comfortable walking in the hay. Straw, straw. We're actually going to do a double hay set, so I'm going to think that this big area, I know the coyotes, they like to come and just get on the edge of it, so we're going to do this big area for any brave coyotes that want to step and root around in here. But we're going to do one sort of just small one over here, just a small one. That's going to be our sort of edge of the big circle trap. I'm not going to leave a gigantic high spot except for that one over there. This one over here we're going to make like a little bit bigger. That one's bringing them in. This one's the root around spot. Okay. And before we even start setting, we're going to take this beaver carcass and we're just going to kick it around in here. This guy was just skinned yesterday. He's a little frozen, but I'm just making him scent this place up. I'm not going to leave him here though. Just kicking him around in here. Make this all smell his aroma. A little bit over here. One more time. A naked beaver was playing in the straw. That should make some meat eaters curious. All right, and then this guy's going off in the hedgerow. I threw that beaver off in there. So in proximity. We're not making much of a trap bed because remember, we're not really burying this much. We just want to make sure this anchor is good. I like using the KO Junior in here because the screen is so easy to cover with hay, straw. All right, that's totally locked in. I want to make sure that if doubles are caught here that they can't reach each other. We're going to anchor one on the edge right over here. I'll be putting a little bit more straw here too. good. And we're gonna do one more over here at the satellite. For this one, we're gonna put a bait hole right down underneath here. Get this all firm, and then we're gonna put some traps. Then we're gonna put some straw in here. But the hole is right here. We're gonna bait that and cover it up, and our trap is gonna be bedded right here in the straw. Basically a bed of straw underneath this trap so it doesn't freeze to the ground. Straw to hide it, but not so much to bind up the jaws. Alrighty, and we're gonna guide them in a little bit with some step over straw. Trying to leave this one high so it's a long distance eye appeal. Alright, that's all we're gonna do for this satellite straw. It's the old SS satellite straw. And in this bigger circle, we're gonna set a couple of traps, but we're gonna kind of make things pretty even all the way around. Just have them in here. Maybe a little urine. I think I'm gonna do a little urine where there would be marking. We're gonna give them a low spot to step on. This one I like using the screen, like I said, really easy to hide in the straw. Gives a big target. Over here in this eye appeal higher one, we're gonna do some Mark June's Widowmaker paste bait down the hole. Way down the hole. Way down in the frozen earth. And then we're just gonna cover that up with some straw. Plenty of smell in here. We're also gonna put a little bit of fox urine on this. Our trap is hidden right down in there. We got to make sure we don't step in the traps. I hit them so good, but I put a hole in, almost in like the center. And for that, we're going to take a little bit of fox gland lure and just put it down that hole. Find a stiff piece of straw here to grab some. Even though we have all this hay here, we still want to target where we want their nose. You know, we want them walking in here, they smell the beaver, and then there's a little gland right here, so they'll come closer, and the trap is right there. And then just another thing to maybe bring them in here is I'm going to take a little bit of this lightning in a bottle. Whew. Oh boy. Which is basically skunk. And we're going to stick this right on this corn stalk here. Up in the air. Just another thing to bring them into the area. A little bit of long call, more curiosity. And then this one that's on the edge over here, the only thing I'm going to do on this one is urine. Right on the edge. Okay. Double hay set with a satellite. And this one's real flat. Make them walk in here. Bait's over there. Lots of smell in here. A little bit of gland, a little bit of urine. Let's see what it does. Of course, this is super hot with my smell. I've marched all around in here, kneeled in here, threw my phone down, took a phone call. I'm not expecting to catch something in here overnight. The whole idea with the straw set is this is going to work for, 6 weeks of bad weather. The traps should still fire off. They're not in wax dirt. They're just hidden in the straw. They're going to become more and more hidden as we get light snows and wind blown. And I'm just going to walk away from this and watch it from a distance. Don't you just love the feeling that you still have traps to check? I love it, like when I got partway through my line and then I still got another location to go to. There's this like adrenaline that you have, that you still have some traps to check, and there's still a chance that you might have some catches, and then it refreshes again the next day. It's the awesome part about trapping. You're just like, every day you have a chance to harvest. Hey, I just want to thank you so much for watching. I know I say that over and over again, but I'm really even more grateful lately. We are spiking up in subscribers, and people are making a lot of comments, and I'm really enjoying you. I'm enjoying that we're doing this together, that we're out here trapping on my line, and people are engaged with what's happening, and people are even sending in tips and kind of helping me out. So it's really, really cool. If you're new here, welcome. I'm Trapper Dan, and I appreciate it if you subscribe, like, and comment. I work hard every day to make trapping content about my outdoor adventures and ultimately to support trapping and to show the benefits of trapping and fur harvest and the lifestyle of a fur trapper. You know what's a really good windshield scraper? A Pastry Chef scraper. I don't know what brand this is. Cocoa Berry. But the plastic is perfect for, you know, scraping the window. Always gets frosty. I have a feeling this is a little bit softer plastic than your regular windshield scraper, so it doesn't scratch my plexi. This is a sustainable, natural, organic, and renewable resource. Yes, it is. I'll catch you on the next one.